Hi, welcome back to CoinDesk Live. I'm Lee Quinn, and I'm joined now by Marshall Hayner, CEO of MetalPay. Thanks for joining us today, Marshall.
Thanks for
Cool.
having me. Cheers. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, so much. Wow. From 2017 to where we are today, the market has matured incredibly. When we started 3 years ago, our company's 3 years old. We had this concept and vision of creating a payments product and a platform that everybody could use, that was easy to use. And at the time, we wanted to use synthetic dollars, but the only option we had was Tether. So flash forward to now. Wow, look, we have USDC, Paxos, Gemini Dollar, so we have so many different options. Recently, Bakkt launched their Bitcoin offering, and institutional money has come into the space. Most interestingly, I think the really very cool part is to see the financial institutions come around to using this technology, because 3-4 years ago, this just wasn't a discussion that banks were having, and now it is. Our company, Metal, we deal a lot with banks and payment processors, and it's really cool for me in the space for a very long time. The sentiment changed from highly skeptical and thinking that it's not a good idea to we have to adopt this technology because future of the web. That's really cool.
For a very long time, when did you first learn about Bitcoin and enter the space?
So I first got involved in Bitcoin in 2009. I was one of these early lucky people, and I'll tell you how I got involved. I was living in Massachusetts at the time. I was a student. I went to Northeastern University, and like any good entrepreneur, I dropped out. And I was obsessed with technology. I was in college when Napster came out, so that was really exciting for me, and I followed that all the way into Direct Connect and BitTorrent, and I became fascinated with encryption, decentralized networks, and I watched 80% of all web traffic become BitTorrent traffic. That was mind-blowing to me. This is pre-Netflix, pre-Spotify, and in 2009, I discovered Bitcoin through a discussion about how an artist could be paid over the web using BitTorrent. How could an artist paid for their royalties through the web through this technology? And somebody said, what about Bitcoin? And that was, I Googled that, and that was the beginning of my 2011, I moved out to California, and by 2012, I had started to plan my first crypto business, my first real tech startup, actually, and that became QuickCoin. And I put Bitcoin on Facebook. This is pre-Facebook Libra days. We formed the company in 2013, and then I launched QuickCoin in 2014. It's really cool. It's one click button, and boom, you have your Bitcoin, and you can send it to your friends over Facebook wall post or Facebook Messenger. And that started my journey. And then I joined Stellar, got involved with Dogecoin. That was one of the most exciting things about cryptocurrency community is it doesn't matter how old you are, where you live, what you do, you can just get involved. And that's what Dogecoin teaches us, and that's what Stellar teaches us. Now, that's what Metal teaches us. And my vision from the very beginning has just been, once I understood what Bitcoin was, I felt, well, if that ever succeeds, it won't really be something that will be fairly distributed to regular people. We won't have access to this thing unless we buy it as an asset. So why not earn it? And I thought that was so cool. And so I invented this concept of POP and the cryptocurrency Metal, which is minted based upon POP, which stands for proof of process payment. And that's something that anybody. So I've always been a big proponent of just the party. What's Dogecoin? Wow, such fun, much Doge. Here's 1,000 Doge, right? What's Metal? Oh, I just made a payment. I just popped. I think that's the future of crypto, in my opinion, is that is very easy to digest and very powerful. Whether that's for the consumer or the corporation, that's where we have to start. We have to make these tools like what we know in modern day consumer software and enterprise SaaS software.
launched, you can only earn it, or was there also a sale for retail investors to purchase at the beginning in 2007?
Sorry, it's a little choppy on mine. Can you repeat that, Lee?
People only ever been able to earn metal, or was there an initial sale that launched the token?
So that's really interesting. The private sale, which was a very unpopular decision in 2017, but we recognized as a money service business that this is the way to do it. That if you are launching a cryptocurrency and it is going to sale to the public in some sort of way, there probably should be some sort of disclosures and maybe securities registrations if that cryptocurrency is trading for a long time, maybe as an asset but has no utility. That's definitely a concern in my mind. I think that we need to completely rework the definitions of cryptocurrency, commodity, crypto security, and crypto assets. I call everything cryptocurrency when in fact Bitcoin is probably a crypto commodity. And so we allotted to that, and we spent over a year doing the legal work on that and getting an opinion in 2016, I think, when nobody had really even thought about the legal aspects of cryptocurrency. So we did a private sale. We raised a really small round from accredited only investors for $2 million. And that wasn't a popular decision, but that avoided triggering some issues with public sales for us.
Interesting there is commodity. So if we think of Bitcoin as a commodity in the sense that it has a function and a purpose, very specific function and purpose that does not change over time, when you look at altcoins, any other crypto asset that is not Bitcoin, what are the various categories that you think there are? There's a lot of people that describe utility tokens and a lot of people that describe security tokens. For you, what are the main categories of the existing functioning crypto assets today?
Sorry, a lot of that broke up, but I think I got most of it. I believe I have a really interesting take on this. In 2011, when nobody cared what crypto was, 2010 even less people cared, but by 2011 we had a nice chat going on bitcointalk.org, right? And people were having these discussions. What is Bitcoin? Is it a currency? Is it a commodity? Well, if we look at traditional markets, we can see that Bitcoin behaves more like commodities, more like gold and oil and grain. In fact, it's even more volatile. So, and one of the aspects of a commodity is that it's not used as a currency. It's usually cumbersome to use as a currency, like using gold bars or something like that. We don't do that. So in the case of Bitcoin, right now it's cumbersome. It's cumbersome. And what does everybody do with Bitcoin right now? They buy it. Let's be honest here on CoinDesk Live. I love to transact with it. I was one of those early people transacting with it. And why do I do it? Because I like to experiment and I like to play. And it can be used like a currency. But the interesting thing is most people commodity because they buy it low and they try to high, hopefully not the other way around. And they play the markets. So I believe that Bitcoin is a crypto commodity. And then in my opinion, a cryptocurrency is more along the lines of like a Tether or a Paxos or a True USD or Gemini dollar, because that represents a fiat currency that's backed on the blockchain. And then in the future, we're going to have crypto securities, in my opinion. So you'll have Facebook stock and different things like that. And we've seen some of these STOs start to appear. But I think we should really start calling crypto and Bitcoin crypto commodity and Tether cryptocurrency, right? And metal crypto commodity, Ethereum crypto commodity, because that's what they really are. I think there's a lot of confusion around, are you a utility token? Are you a cryptocurrency? Wait, aren't they the same thing? In my opinion, crypto can encompass so many different things. And in the case of like Bitcoin, Ethereum, metal, Dogecoin, for example, those are crypto commodities, the way they behave on the market and the way that people treat them. They could be used as utilities. Cryptocurrencies are the stable coins, in my opinion.
So when it comes to metal, for example, and you can earn it by sending transactions using your platform, what can you use it for?
So that's a great question. It's really cool because I get to see these kind of live case happening on our dashboard as we're watching. But into the app, what you'll see, the first thing you'll see is Metal Pay is like on steroids. It's like Cash App on crack. It's so much better in my opinion, the functionality, because not only can we P2P transfer between friends like we could do with traditional payments apps, but we can buy and sell crypto and we can earn crypto. So one of the first things you did is you'll probably get a little sign up bonus for signing up from a friend's link or something like that. And then your first payment, you're going to pop. So you're going to earn some crypto. And that is highly unusual to earn a reward on a P2P payments app. In fact, we're the first company to ever do that. And that's really cool. So the first thing you'll notice, let's say when I send you a payment, when I send you $100, Lee, you're going to get the $100. And then after that processes from both of our from my bank end to your Metal accounts, as soon as we can see that's a good transaction, you'll pop. Usually within 3 minutes of sending the payment, you'll pop and you'll earn that crypto. And then what would you do with that, right? So many questions. I would ask you, if I sent you, $200 and you pop 10 bucks, what would you go do with it? One of the things I frequently see people doing is transferring that on to somebody else and saying, hey, it's for beer, it's for pizza, it's for movie night. And it keeps getting passed in the system. So the first users, what we see the first users do is immediately sell it, because the rest of the world views cryptocurrency as fake money, as not real money. In my mind, give me cryptocurrency every day over fiat currency, because I want a choice when I enter into the fake money. At least the money that has a hard cap on it, like Bitcoin and Metal. So one of the things we frequently see people using Metal for on the platform, small petty cash payments, friends. Most people will go and they'll sell it the first time because they'll say, is this real? Well, let me sell it. I just earned $5. Oh my God, it's real. So they keep selling it, they sell it, and then it goes down, and you basically have this Bitcoin moment where you go, oh, was that a mistake? And so you get to be exposed to the market and exposed to the technology in a way that's just fun, it's friendly, it's easy. So most people are just using it for whatever, but what would you spend $20 of Metal you'd earned inside an app? Probably something fun, probably something simple, a payment to a friend or something.
Or within your app?
Sorry, I missed that.
They sell the Metal on external exchanges or within your app, and you are the one buying it back, the buyer of last resort.
So you can buy and sell it inside of our app. And that's one of the cool things, is that we are building an exchange inside of our app. So right now you can trade 18 different cryptocurrencies, but Metal is a cryptocurrency that's open, just like Bitcoin. So Bitcoin as well. Right now you can't use the mainnet functions, but those are coming in Metal 2.0. So the next version that comes out is going to support the ability to other cryptocurrencies outside the app and deposit them in. But right now inside the app, we have some of the lowest pricing, compared to Robinhood, Square Cash, some of these other options. We're 1%, and we're about to launch a feature where you can essentially trade for free if you hold enough Metal, a nominal amount of Metal.
For other kinds of crypto assets, or they could take it off and try and liquidate it on an external exchange.
Sorry, it's a little hard to hear you, but inside the app, you can trade all 18 assets. We're adding more, and that's also paired to US dollars. So you can trade, let's see, I don't know if I could, how well it'll show on the screen. Actually, probably shouldn't do that because it probably won't. What you'll see is that it essentially allows you to trade between all these cryptocurrencies. I'll give it a try. Let's give it a try. Pretty good. So inside the app, you can see it kind of looks like Venmo, right? In fact, you may, if you've been following Facebook Calibra, see a lot of similarities. We were first, by the way, we're live, but it's really cool because it has that same functionality that you'll see with Venmo, right? So you have the cash card, you have the crypto card. If I click the crypto card, I'll see that I have a bunch of different cryptos. I have Metal, I have Bitcoin, I have all these different cryptos. And I can buy and sell. I can sell between the different pairs right straight to USD. The really cool thing about this is that we're going to implement all the mainnet features. So most people are using cryptocurrency and they're not interacting with the chain. They're just getting onto essentially the exchange, and they're trading. But in this case, with Metal, we just start to expose these mainnet features. So here's the Metal card. I transfer to the metal, so a little bit of metal. And then let's see, we can buy some right now. Let's buy $100 of metal. Really simple inside the app. And the concept is basically that previously you wouldn't be able to, if somebody said, hey, pay me with crypto, you wouldn't be able to do that on the spot. And you also wouldn't be able to essentially earn rewards or have like an easy access. So for the first time somebody getting into crypto, it's like, oh, I have to go buy it. This is really cool. So this is basically which on the metal blockchain. And then as we expand for other mainnet features for other cryptos, you could imagine, for example, maybe like basic attention token, which is inside of our app. This could connect to Brave browser, so you'd have that interaction. Or Binance Coin, this would connect to the Binance decentralized exchange. Or Dash, for example, would allow you to send an anonymous transaction. So these are the kinds of things that we want to expose people to. And the other really cool thing about the platform is that we have this concept of Discover, which is to show people information about cryptos. So we have kind of like a source where we're putting curated content. We're going to start to allow the coins and the companies in the space to also get their information out there, as well as news outlets like CoinDesk. So we really want to get the information out there, make it easy to use, and make it fun.
The way you approach compliance with the original token sale, has there been anything that's changed in terms of the way you think of that marketplace now that we've had just slightly more regulatory guidance, a little bit more understanding about how American regulators view exchanges with multiple kinds of crypto assets? Have you had to adjust, or how have you approached that compliance strategy today?
Sorry, I was on mute. I have a lot to say about this. I feel that it's a good thing I was on mute because I just kind of geeked out. I have a lot to say about this. I feel that we can work within regulations to build cryptocurrency projects in the United States. That's completely feasible. One of the problems is that a lot of cryptocurrency companies have thrown caution to the wind. They have not registered. They have not followed the regulations. And when the regulations come down, it's very much of trying to push it away. And part of that comes, I believe, from the cypherpunk community, which I want to give a shout out to. I came from that community. I really think it's very interesting, and I'm obsessed with encryption technology. But I believe that technology frequently outpaces regulation, and the U.S. is not trying to stymie the innovation. Well, maybe in some cases you might. You always have some bad apples, but most of the regulators are trying to protect the public. So essentially, it's up to us as a community, as an industry, to band together and to inform regulators and to tell them what we are doing. So to that end, Metal has been very proactive. We're a registered money service business. We're in the process of obtaining our money transmission licenses. Now, this isn't easy stuff. And to that extent, I believe that we should not regulate Bitcoin and Metal and Ethereum and Dogecoin and other things that we call cryptocurrencies as currencies. We should regulate commodities. Tomorrow, I'll be in Washington, D.C., doing a Bitcoin briefing to Congress on why Bitcoin should be regulated as a commodity, and also how the industry can come together to represent ourselves in Washington and to regulators. Because I think that's been one of the biggest problems for cryptocurrency, is that we haven't had a unified voice. We've unfortunately been different corporations or different entities, and then in between all of it, you have a lot of my friends, a lot of crypto activists, crypto anarchists that are fighting the good fight, that are saying that we should have more freedoms, but maybe the message doesn't come across right to regulators. We need a unified voice. And so to that end, I am working to create a blockchain engineering task force to bring together cryptocurrency companies, financial services, regulators, to have a discussion about this, because I think it is really important. And I do believe that America is a great country and that we can do it here. We just have to inform our politicians, our senators, our congressmen, congresswomen. We need to inform them what we're doing and how we can comply with the regulations. It doesn't have to be overly ridiculous. We can find a middle ground, but we have to classify these things correctly and we have to explain them correctly. And we do have to comply with laws. Just because cryptocurrency is decentralized doesn't mean the world that we live in is lawless.
Now, this is CoinDesk Live. I'm here with Marshall Hayner of MetalPay, a startup in San Francisco. Marshall, you've been in this space a really long time, and I'm wondering if we think about the broader market, if you notice any similarities or any really stark differences between this cycle of the Bitcoin price rising and previous cycles of the Bitcoin price rising.
Hey Lee, I'm having trouble. I can't hear anything you're saying. Can you speak a little closer to the mic? Sorry.
Yeah, does this help?
That's a little bit better. Thanks. Yeah, I think that it's really interesting because I've watched Bitcoin and crypto die so many times. From 2009 to 2019, it's been a wild ride. So I thought, I watched Bitcoin die at at $3, at $20, at $100. Oh, the big one was 2013 when we got to 1200 and then we went down to 165. Oh my God, we're for sure dead now, right? I think that's really funny because what has really changed my life and changed my perception of technology are decentralized technologies that can't be stopped. And so Bitcoin is one of those. Metal is one of those. Ethereum is one of those. And I think that this cycle, I guess it does go in cycles, right? So you have these boom cycles and these bust cycles, and the bust cycles are where the regulation comes down and people think, oh, maybe it's not going to happen as quickly as it was going to. But this time around, from the 2017, it was this excitement of new projects building. It was I guess you could call it ICO mania, because there were so many projects funded. But then 2018 was the year of shipping products, of what do you have? Show me what you got. And that was really fun for me because that was really a big differentiator for a lot of projects. Metal shipped a project. I watched really cool projects. Basic Attention Token and Brave browser ship a product. I watched Steam. Steam continues to ship products. Really cool. I have a big, like a big heart for amazing products. I love amazing design. And so what's different this cycle is that we have shipped products. We have really amazing entrepreneurs and people coming into the space that are coming from different areas of tech that are phenomenal, coming in. And most importantly, we now have the interest of banks, regulators, and we also have large tech companies like Facebook launching blockchains. You have JP Morgan building their own Quorum and blockchain system. Bank of America has more blockchain patents than any bank. And now where Bakkt is launching their institutional Bitcoin offering. Very soon you will have crypto commodities on stock markets like NASDAQ and New York Stock Exchange. This is really a pinnacle year. And if you asked me 5 years ago, or 6 or 7 years ago, or 8 years ago, hey Marshall, where will you be in 2019 and where will Bitcoin be? I wouldn't say here right now. It's taken us a lot longer to get here, because it's so hard to explain these things. It's so hard to make sense of it. And it's very complicated, and there's no really good consumer mass market story. Right now, it's all very scary. I have to be honest, right? Who invented this? Oh, a nameless, faceless person named Satoshi. That's not what we're used to, right? We're used to Mark Zuckerberg. We're used to Steve Jobs, right? We're used to something a little bit different. So I think this time around, it really is finally catching on and getting a story. When you see Facebook make their own cryptocurrency, Libra and Calibra, obviously, in my opinion, inspired by Metal and Square Cash. Who's first, right? Metal and Square before Facebook, right? Square adds Bitcoin, and even before then, Metal Pay was launching, right, and getting started. So this time around, I think we're going to see a ton of consumer technology, a ton of enterprise technology, like Alibaba's blockchain solution, distributed ledger solution. R3 Ripple is working with major banks. I would say in 5 years from now, we'll look back and say, oh, who doesn't know what Bitcoin is, right? That's really where, who doesn't know what metal is, right? That's where we're going to be, but right now it sounds foreign. I predict that this is going to be a whirlwind. One thing I think is coming is regulation. Regulation is really about to tighten down, and it's up to us as an industry to inform.
We have the news today of Justin Sun not being able to leave China to come to a lunch in San Francisco. When you think about where you expect regulation to come,
The Justin Sun article. Yeah, I'm on. Sorry, I keep doing that. I saw the article this morning, and you know, I'm not going to comment because I don't know what the scenario is there, right? But if somebody were to draw a conclusion, doesn't necessarily look great, right? And so I hope he gets better. I hope that's just kidney stones. You know, I'm going to go with that. But I do believe that it is good for us to get out there as a community and talk to influencers and people in traditional financial services and banking, lending, regulators. That's really important. So what Justin was doing was the right thing. Is to reach out to the Oracle of Omaha and tell him about cryptocurrency and what it is and explain it, because I think that it's not necessarily explained very well to a lot of people, especially people that are very busy and don't have a lot of time necessarily to spend on these things. That's very important. Where I see regulation coming is in terms of money transmission. So some states will view cryptocurrency as money transmission. I would like to see it not viewed as money transmission. As a company, Metal is prepared for that. I think that we're going to start to see cryptocurrency licensed as money transmission. We're going to see clear definition of what securities are on blockchains by SEC, and some more rules around ICOs, STOs, things like that. I do believe that it's going to get tougher for exchanges and wallet services to operate in the United States due to FATF's new travel rule and other things like that. That we are going to have to inform and innovate as a community, because it is going to become increasingly prohibitive for wallets. And you know, if you're a 14-year-old developer in your bedroom making a Dogecoin wallet, you should not have to be a registered money service business. You should not have to be a registered money transmitter. Now, I don't necessarily think that's going to happen, but it could go down that road if we don't inform regulators how we can start to make more compliant tools around the blockchain. And instead of just taking best guesses at blockchain transaction monitoring, clustering of addresses, why don't we start to embed identity into the blockchain?
I mean, there's a lot of questions raised by that, for sure. So in 2017, when we saw a very similar boom in attention, in public attention, there was the alt season in which a lot of niche token assets had very, very quick gains compared to Bitcoin, which had also significant gains, but at a slower rate.
I think we're going to see a blend. I think we're going to see a blend of both. I do think exceptional cryptocurrencies that build solutions and solve real problems, and not just talk about, you know, what could be solved, but blockchains that are solving these problems actively are going to get adopted by larger corporations. So I do see that coming, and that is part, in my mind, what is decentralized finance? It's integrating all these different blockchains in ways that are useful for corporations and for individuals. So I do see a boom, another boom, just like any cycle, right? But what I also see is we are going to be now we're starting to, as a space, get more skeptical. You're not going to see a BitConnect become a top 20 anymore. Why? Because the market has wisened up. That we've wised up. we've basically started to look at the technology and where it's applied and how it's applied. And so I believe larger companies are going to start to look at this. And I also think larger companies are going to, like Facebook, for example, are going to look at Ripple, are going to look at Metal, and they're going to start to kind of, hate to say it for a better word, copy, right? Kind of copy and iterate around that. It's good flattery for the companies that are getting copied. But I do think that there's going to be a lot of acquisitions. There's going to be a lot of mergers. I do believe we may even see rolling up of coins together, where two companies merge together and then they re-release a coin that's a larger coin, things like that. I do think that there's going to be a lot of really interesting scenarios. One of the things that we will see over the next year is we will see projects start to really bloom. And the ones that weren't going to succeed kind of slip away. So I think we're going to start to see a higher quality in the top 100 market cap, top 200 market cap of coins. And I do believe that due to increased regulation, there will be less availability of certain assets. So especially in the North American market, we're going to see this. So I do believe there is going to be a big explosion. There's going to be a big focus also on SaaS and enterprise level blockchain and financial products, also for trading in terms of derivatives, crypto, ETFs, things like that. All that stuff is coming. The bar is just about to raise exponentially, in my opinion. You're going to start to see like FANG, like Facebook, Apple, Netflix, Google. These companies are going to come in and they're going to get involved, and crypto commodities, cryptocurrencies are going to, blockchain technology will become an integral part of these platforms. That's my prediction.
I wonder if you, as a Bitcoin veteran, have any advice for newbies in terms of how to weather the next market cycle. If you had to think of just one piece of advice, one thing to tell these newbies, what would you say?
Learn. I would learn as much as I possibly can. You could say, oh, I missed out on Bitcoin. I missed out on Metal. I missed out on this. I missed out on that. I missed out on Ethereum at 30 cents. But the real value I have learned from being in cryptocurrency for over a decade is the value is up here. Learn. Educate yourself. Because what might not seem very important today, in a year from now will be $1 million in your mind, $10 million in your mind. And that information can be spread so easily. It can be replicated and copied and copied. A dollar may not be able to be copied, or hopefully not. A Bitcoin certainly can't be copied, but your thoughts can be copied and replicated and disseminated. And so through learning, through downloading the Metal Pay app and sending a payment and earning your first crypto, that's like your first step, right? It's easy. It's super easy to use. Or download Brave browser, just earn some crypto. And then try to slowly buy some crypto and play with it, transfer it, buy something with some crypto. And then start to research and study and read books. And this space moves. I'm sure everybody in the CoinDesk office would probably laugh and agree with this. We move at 10 years, one day in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is 10 days in the real world. So like 1 year in blockchain is 10 years in the real world. So if you just spend 1 year learning in this space, it's almost like you had 10 years if you make it through that without your hair turning gray, because there's so much happening and it's this wild roller coaster ride. And so I feel like for anybody that's just coming in right now, download the Metal Pay app, send a payment, pop, earn some crypto, buy it, sell it, transfer it. Don't even download the Metal Pay app. Just go read something if you don't like that idea. I think the concept is just play, just learn. Don't get stuck to any one thing. Don't become a maximalist of Bitcoin. Don't become a maximalist of Ethereum or any coin. Keep your mind open, and you will succeed and you will earn so much. One of the things that blockchain taught me is that money is not physical. Money is not the balance in your bank account or your crypto wallet. It is the exchange of value between humans.
Today, Marshall, for everyone else, CoinDesk Live will continue later on today. We have a conversation about NEM and a conversation about eToro, the crypto exchange platform. So stay tuned. Thanks again, Marshall.
Thanks for having me. Cheers.